Welcome back, everyone, to my Let's Play of Final Fantasy V, the 4-job Fiesta for TNV Small Critters Rescue. Last episode, we completed the ship graveyard, and now we're back on the overworld, and we're going to be heading to the south to a point of interest. We found the overworld map in the ship graveyard, and by pressing the Y button, we can bring it up, and solid white dots indicate a point that we want to go to. So there's one to the south of where we're at, so we're going to go check that out. So I'm going to try to be farming some new monsters in the area. There's 4 new monsters around this area. I want to encounter them all. As you can see, I'll be fast forwarding through a lot of the battles because white mages they're a defensive class. They're not known for their offense. So just to make battles a little bit shorter, I'll be fast forwarding through them, but still seeing all the battles, so you'll be able to see all the different enemies that the game has to offer. So here are these annoying gatlings. They're like those needle rats in Final Fantasy IV. When you attack them, they counter with a needle, which does a decent amount of damage. So when we start encountering them, we want to basically have T and V do the attacking if we encounter them in larger groups. But I know that the place we're going to is a town coming up, so I'll be able to heal there, so I'm not worried about taking a lot of damage from their counterattacks here. So now if it was a big dungeon, you know, then I'd probably just run away. Yeah, these enemies at the beginning don't really give too much experience, nor, you know, job abilities, so running away at the beginning won't be all that bad, especially since eventually, like I said, we want to power up that chicken knife, and we're going to have to be doing a lot of running away eventually later on in the game. So here's an interesting enemy, the Galuf. It doesn't attack, it doesn't do anything. So you can just basically, I'm trying to whittle down its 500 hit points, but after a certain amount of time, it'll just eventually run away. Even if you do manage to defeat it before it runs away, you don't get any experience points, you only get 1 ability point for it. So if you're doing a low-level job, a low-level game, that's a good way to get job points. And just get into a battle with one of them. You'll never gain experience, so you'll never level up, but you will gain the ability points to level up your jobs. So, and here we are. Like I said, we're at a town, so I'll stop in here and heal up, so I wasn't worried about those all those counterattacks that I was end up taking. So ourselves up, because we have a pretty another dungeon coming up soon after this. Not a very long dungeon. That's the game is nice. It paces the dungeons very well. The beginning, the dungeons are going to be very, very short because there's not, you know, you don't have a lot of complicated abilities to get through the dungeons. So they're short, easy to get through, and then they get more advanced as you go on. So the game does do a good job pacing in that sense. That's one of the good things about this game. So one of the bad things is we can't buy any of this stuff. Only thing we can use is staffs, and we already have staffs. So yeah, not too much equipment in terms to buy. We'll buy some new armor here, cotton robes, a little bit better than the leather armor that we have. So we'll buy 4 of them. Not much, but every little piece of defense counts. Speaking of defense, we are going to get a new spell in this area, the armor spell, which is basically like the protect spell. That was taken out of Final Fantasy IV. It was bugged. It was in the original, the Japanese version, but it basically increases your character's physical defense. And then there's another spell called Shell, which increases your character's magical defense. So they're you know, good spells to pick up to increase your survivability. So it'll make our white mages even more tankier. So you want to pick that up, that armor spell there. You also want to pick up the sleep spell. It's a black magic spell, but it is one of the spells that goes into the magic sword knight build later. So I'm going to go to the magic screen here. We got mutant armor, level 2 white spells, but if you look at the sword magic, that gives the sword magic, even though we don't have a character who can use sword magic yet, it does show off the sword magics that you can get in the game as you buy the spells. So yeah, level 2 we have a sleep blade, mute blade, so mute blade will be important for a future boss much later on. And here we have our second piano. Now, there's the sequence trigger to advance the game is on the second floor, but there's a sequence trigger outside the pub here, so you might want to just talk to all the people outside first to get the guy to appear in the pub. But I'm just heading into the pub first here because it was the first building I kind of came across too. So sure, huge meteor fell near Tycoon. Oh, there's some hiyruu plant on North Power, but it's apparently poisonous. I don't know about that. We're gonna head back this way here. Get some hidden treasure, some money here in this pot. And we head this way. You'd think there'd be treasure in this little barrel here, but no. And the guy doesn't say anything new either. He'd be like, "Hey, why are you back here behind the desk?" But he doesn't say anything. So now we've learned that there's a hiyruu plant on the north mountain. That's going to be our next dungeon that we're going to go to. But we can't really go there and do anything there until we talk with a man who appears in that room there. But he won't appear until after we talk with this woman, and she won't appear until after we talk with the woman over there on the left. So yeah, a lot of sequence triggers here, so it can be a little bit confusing the first time you're going through this place, because you gotta talk with one person to make another person appear to finally make the last person appear. So this is the lady we want to talk with. I'm gonna go over here though. There's an antidote in one of these barrels. There we go. The country of Worus lies just south of this town, across the sea, but they're using the power of the water crystal. We gotta stop them. How can we get to Worus? Boats used to travel there, but since the wind has weakened, and we don't have soldier anymore either. Sorry, Faris, I'm sorry. TNV, don't you know of any good way to get there? If we can't go by wind, if there's no wind, we can't go by sea. And that is going to cause another lady who looks just like her to appear in front of the pub. So we're going to go talk with her in a little bit, but we're going to head down this way first. It's a hidden passage. We've got to kind of fiddle our way around through here. But eventually we want to head down, and there's a rod down here. Rods are interesting because certain classes can break them, and when they break them, it casts the level 3 elemental spell of the particular element. So an ice rod, you break down, it'll cast an ice 3 spell. At the beginning of the game here, that's really, really, important, really overkill, because, an ice 3 spell, when you only have, like, ice 1, and then eventually there's, fire rods and lightning rods that do the same, so. And you can equip them on, like, a black mage, and it'll increase the potency of your black magic. So if you have a fire rod, it'll make your fire spells do 50% more damage. Lightning rod will make you do lightning rods do more damage. Ice rods, ice damage. So they're kind of good to carry around just if you're having a black mage. Even if you have no intentions of breaking them. But breaking them can kind of break the game. It makes it a lot easier to make some of these bosses like cake. So, but we don't have that option because we're white mages. Although we are learning here that we may have an option to get to Worus, and that is by flying, because apparently King Tycoon's dragon, the hiyruu, apparently was injured at the Wind Shrine and flew to the North Mountain. On the North Mountain, a plant, the hiyruu grass, grows, and that can heal the hiryuu's wounds. Unfortunately, the hiyruu grass is poisonous, so we gotta be careful when we're going up on that mountain. On one of the screens, we'll notice there's these pink flowers, and one of the citizens here in this town told us the pink flowers that bloom on the mountain, they're poisonous. So if you touch them, all your characters will be given the poison status. And in the poison status, every step they take, they'll lose hit points, and then they'll also lose hit points during battle. So here's another new enemy we wanted to meet, the Big Horn. Finish these Gatlings off, and then we'll pull up the stats for the Big Horn. Gatlings are, you'd hope that they can drop. I didn't buy any because I was playing a little risky, but you may want to buy some soft potions. There's going to be one enemy in the North Mountain here that can petrify you, to turn you to stone, and the only way to remove stone right now is with a soft potion. We're going to find one on the North Mountain, but those Gatling enemies can drop them, so. Luckily, the enemy that turns you into stone is a very rare encounter on the mountain, so your chances of running into them are kind of low. They only appear like on the final screens of the dungeon. But I get unlucky and one manages to turn me to stone. But I am lucky that I do get. They do have a soft potion available here on the mountain. So if you gather all the treasure, at first I thought maybe not collecting all the treasure because this mountain we're going to return to much later. There's a side quest at the end of the game, and I was like, well, maybe at the end of the game, I'll be, I'll obviously be much stronger, have better jobs, and I'll be able to just like steamroll these enemies, and I can encounter them there. As you can see, it's tough getting through these enemies. They're just white mages, but I figured I have plenty of healing because of the magic points, and before the boss, which is going to be pretty tough. We're going to have a save point, so I can just use one of my tents and heal myself back up to full hit point and magic points. So a lot of these enemies here have elemental weaknesses. This is a good place to have like black mages, but unfortunately I can't have them because the Fiesta requirements. That's where the Fiesta's, supposed to make things fun, forces you to play a different way. Because normally, if you're just playing this normally, you would probably put a black mage in your party and you can exploit like the fire weakness of those rock garter slugs and take them out in one shot. And more importantly, those block enemies there, they have really good defense because they're stone, but they're weak to lightning. So if you got a black mage, you can just one-shot them with a lightning spell. We don't have that, so we're just going to have to beat them down with our sticks and our flails. As you can see, they hit pretty hard with that corner ability. They resist everything but lightning, so if you do have a black mage, you only want to hit them with lightning. You can also give them an ether, and if you give them an ether, it gives them magic points, and they can use an ability, a blue magic spell, like a blind spell, on you. So that's one way to get that, it's called Flash. That's one way to get that spell early. It blinds the target. But we don't have a blue mage. But for my blue mage playthrough, I did end up giving them that ether to get that blind spell a little early. Blue mages learn magic by basically being hit by the magic. They learn enemy skills. So like the enemy magic, they learn those. And some of those skills can be pretty overpowered, especially in this game. There's a lot of multiple skills, like level 5 death. So if a character has a multiple of 5, so 5, 10, 15, etc., it'll instantly kill them even if they're a boss. And there's like level 3 flare, which deals damage to any monster that has a multiple of 3. Cast the flare spell, which is a really powerful spell. So there's quite a few numbered abilities in this game that are really good for blue mages. Blue mages are really powerful. So here's that enemy, the cockatrice. We can turn you into stone. We only have one soft potion right now we found earlier in the dungeon. So once we took out one of those rock garters, I want to concentrate all my fire now on the cockatrice. Try to get it out of the way before it can turn anybody else into stone. Because otherwise I don't have any other way. I only have that one soft potion. As I said, it might be a good idea to buy some soft potions before you head up this way. If you were to turn somebody else into stone, I would have had to reset the game and restart again and then buy some soft potions. But I played a little dangerously, and it turned out okay in the end. So I like to keep my characters kind of evenly leveled. So there's going to be points where we can't do that because some characters will leave and the party shifts a little bit. Not as much as in Final Fantasy IV, where new characters are always joining and old characters are leaving. But there'll be times when we won't have all our characters at one time, so... But yeah, we took out the cockatrice there, so now we can use that soft potion to get Lenna back to normal. And like I said, cockatrices only start appearing on this screen, and then there's only a safe cave to the left, and then the boss screen, and then the final screen. So there's not much left in this dungeon. So the chances of like running into the cartridge are very, very low. They only appear in the latter half of the dungeon, and the latter half of the dungeon is very, very short, as you'll see. So, but we're still going to use our tent here to heal ourselves up because we have a potentially pretty tough boss coming up here. So it's a 2-part boss. So let's see. She's the first part, but we can't do that because we don't have a black mage. But take care, have a good one, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.